How concerning are these latest developments, in your opinion? Why such a ramping up of tensions recently?
Tensions have been building up for quite some time. As you said, they are linked to the political process that is underway to transfer power back to civilians following the attempt, the coup d'etat of October 2021, and the failure of the coup regime led by the army chief, Lieutenant General Al-burhan, in installing any semblance of credible governance. So now, while the approach to a conclusion of that process is seemingly near, tensions are racketing up. The issue of integration of all armed forces into the national army is central to the stability of the country, and it has to be resolved before the final agreement could be signed. The Sudan Rapid Support Forces are actually a creation of the Sudanese Army under the former government of President Omar al-Bashir. And it was enabled, trained, managed, armed by the Sudan Armed Forces. Therefore, this monster has been created by Sudan Armed Forces, and now it's basically out of its control. It has its own will and wants to maintain its independence guaranteed by the law under Omar al-Bashir, in par and in equivalence to the general commander of the armed forces. And I think this is the real, core of the problem. The level of command between the commander of the Rapid Support Forces and the Sudan Armed Forces. The army would want the Rapid Support Forces to come under the hierarchy of the general commander of Sudan Armed Forces. Political factors play a role. The loyalists of former regime of Omar al-Bashir are agitating to lead to confrontation between the two forces as they see in the chaos that would result their only opportunity to come back to power in the face of massive resistance of the Sudanese population against military rule and against the return of loyalists of Omar al-Bashir to power.
So how dangerous, though, is the situation as it stands right now? Are we looking at potentially the risk of civil war? Is it realistic to think that it could go that far?
We're talking about two parallel armies. And what the rapid supports, these support forces don't have, that is to say, Air Force, artillery, armored division, they have compensated for by concentrating their forces in urban areas such as Khartoum, and now this city of Marawi that triggered the latest tensions. Therefore, it's a real serious issue if they went at each other and armed clashes occur. There will be massive collateral damage because this fighting would be in urban areas. The two are aware of this, and there are a lot of mediation efforts from local personalities, influential political actors, in addition to the international community, of course, all addressing the two commanders of the Sudan Armed Forces and the Rapid Support Forces to resolve this issue politically rather than by force. But I agree with you, if there is a clash, it will be disastrous and may announce the fall of Sudan into state failure and disintegration.
What does this ongoing instability in Sudan mean for the security situation in the larger region?
Sudan is, neighbor to several African countries to the east, to the west, and therefore any instability in Sudan, as it is, Sudan is already unstable, and its instability is affecting its neighbors. In the Horn of Africa, Ethiopia, Eritrea, and to the south, South Sudan, and of course to the west, the whole Sahel region, starting with Chad, and in Central Africa Republic, Libya. We have seen Sudanese armed movements that were fighting the government of Omar al-Bashir, basically providing soldiers in the civil war in Libya, and they are still there as foreign mercenaries. Sudan, therefore, has destabilized neighboring countries. And if there is civil war in Sudan, this will be a total humanitarian disaster and a total human cost, not only in Sudan, but in all neighboring countries as well.
All right, well, we'll leave it there for now. Suliman Baldo joining us from Washington, D.C. Thank you.